Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings, salutations. This is, in fact, and I quote, the weekly show where we introduce you to some of the best creators from all over the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote Channel, and our guest on this week's episode is indie writer extraordinaire. Vinny Maia is in the building. Hello, good sir. How are you today?
Glad to be here.
Very happy to have you here, kind sir. We're also happy that you are here, maybe watching and listening to this program right now. So do yourselves a favor. Like and share this video with as many people as humanly possible. If you're joining us live or what is known as a replay, thank you so much for doing so. If you have any questions for Vinny Maia as we go throughout the course of these proceedings, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Be more than happy to take those as they come in, respectively. With that piece of business over and done with, Vinny, what would you say were some of your favorite books or writers growing up as a youngin'?
That's a good question. Well, I've always liked sci-fi. So one of the first books that I remember reading, even though it's a little bit big, it's Dune by Frank Herbert, and that stuck with me, and that got me going. And I started reading other books like Hyperion from Dan Simmons, and those are the books that when on top of my mind, I really like. But of course, yeah, I do love fantasy too. Lord of the Rings comes to mind. And lately, 10 years ago, I started reading the Song of Ice and Fire by George Martin, which I love too.
Oh, there you go. Good picks there. Good picks. One does not simply walk into Mordor. Anyway, sorry. Couldn't help myself. Those movies have been around for 25 years now, which is absolutely insane. That the original, the very first one, Fellowship of the Ring, turns 25 in December of this year, which is absolutely insane. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, our good friend overseas, Case, also known as the Dutch Star Wars guy on YouTube, is going to be doing a anniversary watch-along of the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which that's okay. That's a commitment case. You're going to be awake for, what, 12, 14, 16 hours in a single day, something like that? Or are you going to spread them out between day one is Fellowship, day two is Two Towers, day three is Return of the King? I can't remember exactly what your schedule was going to be for December, Case, but let me know in the DMs because I'm trying to figure that out with you. With that being said, though, goodness gracious, Case, it's beyond creative what you're doing. Do you have any favorite TV series, Vinny, past or present? Anything stand out to you?
Okay. The past, I have to say that Friends was one of the series that I think everybody watched at some time. And I used to love when I was a kid, the Dungeons and Dragons, the one with the unicorn, and I really loved that one. It was really so long ago. But recently, of course, the first seasons of Game of Thrones. And gosh, there are so many right now, and every day I see something that I really like, but those are the ones that come to mind really quick like that.
All right, all good, man. Good picks, good picks. On the flip side of the coin, though, do you have any favorite movies, past or present?
Movies, okay.
Yes.
Well, Lord of the Rings, yeah.
It's kind of a no-brainer at this point.
Yeah. And the one that stuck with me a long time and probably is one of my favorite, I think it's my favorite up until today, it's Matrix. And Contact, which is also one of my favorite books. And what else? Fight Club. I really like Fight Club. And, well, yeah, those are my picks.
I mean, I thought you didn't read the rules, did you? We're not supposed to talk about Fight Club. No, I'm sorry. Those are the first two rules of it, man. He says you do not talk about it. Yeah. But no, I get it. They're great movies. They're great picks. You pick some really good classes there. In The Matrix, I know Kung Fu. Show me. I mean, come on, man. Guy looks dead in the camera and says, "Show me." Like, let's go, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
Keanu Reeves is so from good. Out of this place. Yeah, so good.
He is.
And, the first one also blew my mind. I remember watching in the theater, and after I came out, was what did I just watch? It's something that changed my life forever. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely insane how much of an impact that film made when it came out, and still does to this day. A lot of people have said that is one of the all-time greatest movies of all time. So I've heard that said over the years. And we actually did, I'm trying to remember what year this was. I believe it was 2024? I think it was, Case. We did a 25th anniversary watch-along of The Matrix. We did on our YouTube channel. If you want the link, I can send it to you so you can go back and watch our commentary on the movie. As we are watching the movie, you're watching us react to it as we're watching it. So it's like Mystery Science Theater 3000 to a degree. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'll send you the link to that too, so you can take a look at that, because we had a lot of fun with the commentary on that, with the behind the scenes and fun facts that we learned, as we were watching the movie, and as some of our friends who were in studio with us virtually, of course, to speak about it. So that was a lot of fun. So I'll send you the link for that outside of this episode of And I Quote. But you can also find it on our Movie Nerds playlist on our YouTube channel, folks, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Quick plug, free plugs for everybody. So when did you start writing?
Okay. So I'm an engineer by trade and a writer by choice, and I have a Ph.D. in cloud computing. So I've always written articles and papers for Congress and magazines, and also wrote a book in cloud computing, and also another one in drones, but it was always kind of technical books and industry books. So I really love writing, and I also had some fluency with it, but I always wanted to write fiction. So what got me writing was I had a project that my wife was going for a master's degree in Europe, and we went to France. We lived there for 2 years, and I thought to myself, well, I'll have all this extra time because I'm going to be taking care of the kids and taking care of the house. So maybe I'll write a journal about it. I was really, really wrong, because I didn't have time at all with kids, and the house was really difficult and really labor intensive. So, but I stuck with the idea, and after some time, I sit down to write what had happened, so my kids would know how that experience transpired. And while I was writing that journal, because I love astrophysics and I always liked sci-fi, so I wanted to plug into a sci-fi story, and that what came out of it was this book, which is an autofiction, because it's part of our lives there in Paris as it happened, but also there is a science fiction story in which I plug all these things that I really love in astrophysics, especially the more modern themes, which I haven't seen in another book, and I really love writing it. So that's what happened, so I could write this book and got into fiction writing.
That, in the words of our good friend Spock, I had to say it. You're good, man. You're good. I know. You're like this encyclopedia of cultural references, and your voice is like very good. There's a deep voice. Like you could like be the spokesman for UFC now. In this corner, I haven't done that because it sounds like you do. Sure. Yeah. If they want me to be a ring announcer for World Wrestling Entertainment, the WWE, or UFC, which is, I believe, is also a fighting challenge, if I remember how the acronym stands for. I'm totally down. Like if Michael Butler and his son ever retire and they don't want to say, let's get ready to rumble anymore, and they want me to do it, sure, I'd do it. I would do it, because I grew up watching, as a kid, pro wrestling in the late 90s and the mid 2000s. So I watched WWE, WCW before it went out of business, of course. And then I watched a little bit of TNA. I watched a little bit of AEW. here and there, but that's only because when Sting came back to AEW, I was like, oh my gosh, Sting is back after all these years? You got to be kidding me. And he had his, retirement tour, and he did all these great matches, and he was working with Darby Allin at the time and all that jazz. So that, by the way, congrats to Sting on his retirement. Well-deserved, well-earned, sir. Yeah, no, I'll be down for it. And it's funny you mentioned that because there's I believe, isn't it still going on right now, that Kickstarter? There's a Kickstarter going on for a comic book series called Time Enforcers, which is an educational comic book series for children of all ages about science and time, the potentiality of time travel and all that stuff. And the creator of that, Paul Herbert, came to me and said, hey, I'm putting together a Kickstarter, and I'm putting together the video to promote the Kickstarter, the video that you put in your, Kickstarter link. I want you to do the voiceover for the newscaster that's part of the semblance of characters. Would you be willing to do it? I said, are you kidding me? I've been wanting to do voiceover acting for years. Let's do it. Let's go. And we did, and it's out there in the world. There's a video of it that has been linked to our Instagram account. It's on the End I Quote channel. On Instagram account. It's the latest post that you see, on the posts page. So once you watch that video, you can hear my voice in the background, and then there's a bit of animation to the newscaster moving his lips because it's black and white, it's old school. So when you see that and hear that, I mean, it's not me in the image, of course, but it's me doing the voiceover for that character. So I'm the newscaster of the Axiom News Network. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I finally made my voice acting to a certain degree debut this year. So that's a nice feather in my cap. And thank you to Paul Herbert for giving me the opportunity to do it, because voiceover is so much fun, and playing different characters, no matter what they are, Vinny, is a lot of fun. So
imagine it's not only, I mean, it's probably really fun, but I think it sounds like very difficult, because it's something like you completely change the way you talk. I mean, it's probably not that easy. I mean, only professionals can do that.
Yeah, it's it can be a challenge at times, because granted, I've seen some of the black and white movies that he was going for. He was trying to go for a 1930s, 1940s newscaster that had a very baritone, kind of deep voice, but overly dramatic voice. And I thought, oh, I can do this, because I've seen Casablanca, I've seen Maltese Falcon. I can channel my inner Humphrey Bogart. Not that big a deal. So I just kind of went with that, and lo and behold, it happened. So feel free to check it out. It's on our Instagram page. If you go to Kickstarter, type in Time Enforcers, and it should be one of the first things that comes up on the search bar at Kickstarter.com. So definitely check that out. And while we're sitting here and Vinny and I are continuing this discussion, I'll do my best to find the link for you, fine folks in the chat. I'll post it in the comments so you guys can check out the Kickstarter, because it's a really, really good comic book series. It's a lot of fun for kids of all ages. I mean, pretty much anybody can read it. So I would encourage you to check that out. With that being said, it's not about me. This is, and I quote, with the guest of honor, Vinny Maia is here with us this week, right? So it's about him, not about me. It has nothing to do with me. But do not forget to like and share. And if you're watching us live or on a replay, thank you for doing so. If you have any questions for Vinny, let us know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. We want to hear from you. We encourage it as we go through this whole thing. So with you being a writer and all, what would you say are some of the rewards about being a writer in a general sense of the word?
I'll talk about, for me, what was the greatest reward. After I wrote the book and it got published, there was one day after we did the launching event, and my kid, he was 8 at the time, 8 or 9, and he got the book and he slept with it, and he took it to school, and he showed all his friends, and he was really reading it. So for me, that was the biggest reward of all. But personally, there's no denying you feel accomplished when you write a book. It's something that takes a lot of discipline, and it's not that easy. After you write the end, it's not really the end. The process of publishing is sometimes really, really much more difficult than actually writing the book. And after you get published, you have all these things that you have to do to promote the book. But so it feels like an accomplishment. That's the biggest reward in itself. But of course, everybody, every time someone comes to you and say, "Oh, I read your book. That specific scene touched me," or was asked something about that. Did that really happen? Or how do you feel? So that's also really, really rewarding. And so you get your feelings and your words into the world. So that's a great reward. But it's the little things. I think every day something happens and that you feel like really proud of yourself. But the process of writing it and getting to actually publish it, you feel rewarded in itself. It's really difficult. It's not easy. And I always think everything that takes a lot of work, it's worthwhile because you're gonna feel rewarded. But every now and then, something little happens, and you kind of, wow, that was great.
It's awesome, and congratulations on all that. That is fantastic stuff. Yeah, the feeling of getting published, seeing your name up on the top of the marquee, seeing it up in lights, and holding a book in your hands that has your name written all over it, or whether it's that, or if it's a what do you call it, a short story that's been published as part of an ongoing anthology, and your name is listed next to all the other writers. You're thinking to yourself, okay, I've done something. This is me. I've done this. I did this. Nobody else did. I did. And now I can put that feather in my cap. I can hang it up on my ridiculously good-looking wall, and decorate. But what do you call it? Decorate your mantle however you wish. Now, on the flip side of the coin, though, what would you say are some of the challenges about being a writer?
Well, challenges, you have to have a lot of discipline because whenever you write a book, I mean, the process is maybe different for each person, but I don't think anybody achieves writing a book, gets to write a book without discipline. You have to, because it's not something you sit down one day and you have a book. You have to have a constant, sometimes years writing. So you have to have discipline. So that's one of the most difficult things to write a book. And after you finish it, to get it to be published, whenever route you take, if you're going to be self-published, hybrid publishing, or traditionally published, you're going to have a hard time doing that. That's really, really difficult. It takes a lot of work to get to that. So, but actually writing, even though it takes a lot of discipline, for me, it's really fun when you get to imagine things and write things, get your opinion out into the world. It's really fun. Even though you have to have discipline, it's hard in that sense, but you get to do something that you may like, because I like writing, and you get to do that for a long period of time, and so that's fun too.
Definitely, and you're right about the whole discipline thing. That that's something that does take time. You got to focus on that. You got to hone. What is it called? Honing your craft is is a big deal, right? You got to constantly push yourself, and the only way you know how strong you are is to keep testing your limits. So just gotta keep.
For myself, I don't know. Maybe for others, it is different. But every day I would write like a number of pages, and the next day I would rewrite those number of pages and then write a little bit more. And every day I would rewrite and write. So I would like take 5 steps forward, 4 steps back, 5 steps forward, and I would like do 1 step per day, but I would go and go back. So that took a lot of time, and you like polish every word so you get to your final draft, and you think, oh my god, this is perfect because it took so so much work. But then you go to the editing process, and you're gonna see that what you thought was perfect was nothing but, and then you start again and you rewrite. And writing is rewriting, I think, and then you finally come to a point when you say, okay, this is over, even though it's probably not over, because you would find something to change if you kept going to it. But at a certain point, you have to draw the line. Okay, this is good enough. Let's move to the next project. Otherwise, you're gonna also be stuck forever trying to. Because I know other authors that don't get their books published, not because they're not good or because they're not competent. It's because they never stop writing that book. They always think there's something to get better. And don't get me wrong, I know there's always a way to get a book in a better shape than it was before. But at some point, you have to draw the line and move on to your next.
Excellent points. See, this is why we pay Vinny Maia the big bucks on this show. We appreciate that all the same. And before I go on and share with you my next question, we have a question in the chat here by the Gaijin 4J says, how did you find out your prose style? Did you have a this is it right here moment for yourself, or did you vibe it out and take into account beta feedback?
Well, the beta feedback would happen way down the line. So my style would have to come to be way before that. So how did I find it? I mean, I have an engineer mindset, so I always think about making things believable. So I would do a lot of research, and also my style has a lot of engineering to it because I wrote a lot of papers and technical books before. So I had to, got a little looser so I could write fiction. But my style is my history. So I don't want to run away from that because I could be looser and be really cool. But I tend to try to keep things more mathematical and more logical. So that's my style. And it's something that grows with you. And I think you don't have to run away from who you are, and you just have to find what works within your realm of abilities. So that would what worked for me. So that's a very good question.
Yeah, and we appreciate everybody who's chimed in or has asked questions. Yeah, and anyone else has any more questions to go throughout this episode, let us know. And whether it's here on the live portion or the replay, fine too, because a lot of our guests go back and watch the replays or look at the replays and look at the comments, down below, and they answer those said questions. So, it's like Radio Shack. You got questions, we got answers. So, yeah. I know. That's a throwback to a million years ago. I'm so sorry to date myself. I'm very old. But I know. I'm so old, man. It's ridiculous. I'm starting to get gray hairs in the back of my head here. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have those yet. But all the things.
Well, you have hair.
I still do. It's not going to be around for much. I hate to tell you this, but it's not going to be around for much longer because, like I said, I'm getting thrown in the dirt here, brother. But with the gee willikers. With that being said, any other pieces of advice you would offer to aspiring writers out there?
Yeah, I have a little a difficult time talking about this because nowadays the publishing world it's really hard. So, and there's all these niches that they want. So if you want to pursue the road to get traditionally published, you have to know that the publishing world nowadays, they look for certain things. They look for certain voices. So those voices and those things are going to be prioritized. So if you want to go down that road to get the traditionally published, look to the agents' pages, see what they are looking for. So whenever you write, you can adjust your writing so it gets more of a chance of getting traditionally published. But if you want to write your own thing and you probably have to be prepared to follow a self-publishing route. So that way you're going to publish and you're going to write the way you want it, because size of the books, they have like shrinking down a lot. So if it's your first novel, you're not going to publish plus than 100,000 words. You're not going to publish that, traditionally publish that. So you have to see what works and what you're willing to adjust to be adapted to this new traditional publishing world. But otherwise, if you want to write what you want to write, you can go the route of self-publishing, and you people that will like to read your book. So you have just to choose that. If you want something that will be probably have a more broad appeal, take a look at what agents are looking for, what voices they are looking for. So that's a little bit of advice that I can give, because it's true and it's how the world works. But if you want to write what you want to write, which I think it's great, go down and write what you want to write, but know that it's going to be probably difficult to publish, if traditionally publish it, if it's not within those certain themes and that certain way that people are expecting.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing those. Do greatly appreciate it. Wise words spoken by wise sage. So, yeah, I mean, you have experience in this matter. You know what you're saying. With that being said, let's share something with you who are watching and listening, and we'll share this with you too. Vinny, this bad boy right here, now I know what a full moon is, but being under full moons, does that mean all the lunatics and werewolves are coming out? Are they going to come and attack me in the middle of the night? What's going on? So what exactly is under full moons for someone who's unfamiliar with this title, and how did this come about?
Okay, so the title of the book is the key to understanding a broad mystery inside the book. So I'm not going to tell why the title of it's under full moons. But the tale, what happens in the book, it's like this. It's a true story of my experience and with my family in Paris. So it has all those Paris as the background, which is a wonderful city, and the hardships of taking care of the kids, being outside your zone of comfort, and in another country with another language, and how to adapt. So that's one story, and it also has intertwined with it sci-fi story that it's about a race of aliens that are facing a problem, and so that's where I mix those themes from astrophysics, dark energy, and dark matter. So far into the future, and this is a real scientific fact, that far into the future, the way we know today, the universe is expanding, and it's expanding even faster each time it goes. So it's accelerating the rate of expansion. So it will come a time, and scientists don't know that yet, what will happen, when it either will expand so fast that it will tear the universe apart. So the scenario is called the Big Rip, which is scientists don't know if this is going to happen yet. Or either it will start expanding not faster but at the same rate, which will make everything very cool and very cold in space. So this is the big chill. Or it will stop expanding and come together in a big crunch. These three scenarios are three real scientific scenarios. But in my book, I choose to have the Big Rip as the scenario that will play out. So in the future, the species of aliens are facing the Big Rip, so they're going to be extinguished because the universe will end up. So they want to search something, some way they can save themselves. And they kind of measure one thing that humanity has that it's unique and has a lot of power, which is the power of dreams. So they travel in time because they can travel in time, and they come here because they are far away into the future and also far away spatially speaking. And they come here, and this is where dark matter comes into play, the way they come here and the way they manifest into our universe. I use the dark matter part of physics, and they try to harvest and use a way of getting the energy of dreaming, which is also something that science has not yet explained. And why do we dream? What happens during dreams? So I use that to plug into the story. So the aliens and humans have these interactions, so that they can maybe take that power that can change reality and save themselves far into the future. So that's really what the book is about. All that, but everyday parenting, a new city, and Paris as a backdrop. Also, there is time travel too, because they travel back in time and they share this ability with humanity, so that maybe they can give or tag something. And that's it. That's a mix of things. And I think I got one feedback that I got is that it was original in that sense because it mixes a slice of life story with really modern sci-fi themes.
My goodness gracious. So in other words, this book boldly goes where no one has gone before. I feel like you literally just took all the ingredients from the wars and the Treks and you just mixed them all together, and this book came about is basically what's going on. So which is great. I'm not giving that as a negative. I think it's a positive in all sense of the word. So that's awesome. Congratulations. I mean, it's some heavy stuff, Doc. There's that word again, heavy. One of the things are heavy in our future. Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull? What? Anyway, yeah, it sounds fascinating. It sounds great. Congratulations. I'm glad that the response to this book has been so positive for you over the course of time, and look forward to seeing where, as your story and other stories continue on in the future here. No doubt about it. Once again, we are here with Vinny Maia on And I Quote. Don't forget to like and share. If you have any questions, let us know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. Have there been any special memories for you from being at book signings or conventions, whether you're there as a vendor or there as an attendee?
Oh yeah, at the first book event that I did, and it was like the launch of the book, because when you're, this is my first fiction book, but I've written other books, like I said, but at this launch, there were people there that I didn't know, and I was so happy about that because normally you expect to see your family, your friends, but when you see people that you don't know, it's one of the greatest things because they're there for what you're reading, and they got interested into that, and that was one of the most interesting things for me, seeing people that I really didn't know come to the book events.
That's great, man. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. And I'm assuming you have plans to do more of these events as you move forward, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's always book signings and those type of things. But probably now, like I said, there's a time when you want to start doing your next project. So I want to start writing another book. Of course, I will support and do events from this book, but I'm also looking forward to writing my next book.
All right. Once you write one's just not enough. No. You got to write 30 more of these things, right? before we get really old and gray and hairy, and we just get buried 6 feet under, brother. So that's fantastic. And myself and everyone here in the And I Quote channel community wish you all the best of luck with that moving forward. Who is an author, living or dead, you would love to have a conversation with?
Carl Sagan. I mean, it's one of my favorite scientists, and a lot of passages in the book I use quotes and ideas that I got from Carl Sagan, and I always make sure to credit. I got this when I saw that movie from Carl Sagan, when I read that thing from Carl Sagan, and there are a lot of times in the book when I stop and I try to talk about something interesting, physically speaking, and it always gets me back to Carl Sagan and the way he approached science and the way he puts science out there so normal people that weren't scientists could understand and get fascinated by physics. And nowadays, Carl Sagan is not alive anymore, but another scientist that is alive, and I really love to hear him talk about everything. It's Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he's also one of my favorite too. And I got a lot of books from him too. And but Carl Sagan, was the first that put science out there in a way that people would find it interesting.
Definitely, yeah. And I've seen a few documentaries here and there about each of those individuals talking about their field of science, what they specialize in, what they believe in, and all that kind of stuff. It is interesting for sure, and it's funny that Neil deGrasse Tyson's making appearances in all these different movies, including comic movies like Man of Steel. He shows up in Man of Steel, the most underrated comic movie of all time. Yeah, that's right, I said it, because Superman is my number one favorite superhero of all time, and Man of Steel is one of my all-time favorite movies. And I'm not ashamed to say it, because I know it has a very divisive audience. Man of Steel has a very divisive audience, and I understand that. But at the same time, for me, I'm on the side of really enjoying it and liking it to the point where I saw it 5 times in the theater, Vinny. 5 times. Saw that movie in the theater 5 times. I'm a 5-time champion, so don't mess with me. I have the belt. So, I'm the world champ, baby. You don't mess with the champ. You just don't. But outside of that, great names, great scientists, a lot of experts in their fields, respectively. What would you say are 3 books that belong on everyone's bookshelf, whether they're fiction or nonfiction?
Great one. I would say Dune from Frank Herbert, because a lot of ideas in Dune are nowadays being put out there, and sometimes people see some of those ideas and they think they're original, and you can trace it back to Dune. All this, and it was the first time I saw politics and adult themes being carried out with so much professionalism in a book in Dune. So the politics and the way things you can see nowadays with Game of Thrones and things like that, where you have a backdrop, either it's fantasy or it's science fiction, but the politics and the dynamics are way more than that. So that's why Dune is one of my favorites. And also, I really love in the comic aspect of it, Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. I think it's so much fun, and you get to see themes treated like physics themes being treated in a way very, very interesting, very funny. So that would be another. And what else? My third one would be that belong. You got me there. I think Contact from Carl Sagan is also a really nice book. Was also one of the books that you didn't see the aliens, but the physics and the way the aliens were approached is a way that if aliens ever would appear, I think it's going to be more like the way we see in Contact. So that's also a great book too.
All right. 3 books, 3 excellent. All right, you know what? I've heard this enough. I'm going to add Dune to my TBR. Okay, I've never read Dune. I've never seen any of the film or TV adaptations of it. Never. I know the most recent one. I know the most recent one by Denis Villeneuve is getting all kinds of Oscar buzz. So, Dune. What is it? Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2. They're all out. Dune Part 3 is coming out in December, I think, for the holiday season. There you go. Yeah, because it's funny though, because Dune Part 3 and Avengers Doomsday come out on the same weekend. So, yeah, people are going to lose all their money, and they're going to see both films. I'm thinking Dune's going to do slightly better than Avengers Doomsday, because Avengers for me ended in 2019 with Endgame. MCU's kind of done and over with. Yeah, nothing against the people who still gravitate towards this franchise. But it's just when you end on such a high note like Endgame, it's impossible to get that feeling back. And they're trying to recapture it by gathering everybody who's been in any kind of Marvel Legacy movie in the last 30 years in this one movie for Avengers Doomsday. And even though Avengers Doomsday, I think, is a 2-parter, right? Because Doomsday is Part 1, Avengers Secret Wars, I think, is Part 2. And I'm thinking, no, this isn't organic. You're just shoving this in because you have the rights to them. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't mean we want to see it. I don't know. I have very differing opinions on what's going on and what's not happening within the MCU, because I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 things post Endgame, and that's it, because I just don't care.
I've really never seen anything post Endgame, and actually Endgame was
it was 2019.
Was a movie that I was in Paris at that time, and it was maybe the last movie I saw in Paris. Was the last movie, and I always wrapped up also because 2 weeks later I came back to Brazil, and then it was like it wrapped up my experience in Paris in that sense of watching movies. So I have that in my mind, and after that I've never seen another Avenger movies or related movies in that sense. And for me, it was good while it lasted, and it's a cycle that ended for me, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel the same way. Although I did watch the miniseries Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. Hashtag not a sponsor of this show. And that was good. And then people have said a few times over the years that, oh, this movie over here is good, this movie over here is good, but everything else is very muddled. So I'm just like, nah, I don't care. Don't care. Moving on. In the words of our friendly neighborhood stormtroopers, move along. Move along.
You didn't see these droids here.
See what I did there? Yeah, I'm just full of references today. If anyone has a question about that, let me know in the comments or let me know in the DMs of Instagram, because we're always answering messages from our listeners, viewers, or potential guests have reached out to us on social media, which is great. We appreciate all of you. 3 books belong in everyone's bookshelf. Good picks. I'm going to add Dune to my TBR, which
please do.
I know it's hard to see.
It's a little bit big. Yeah, it's on the bigger side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit thick because I have, you can't see it, but over here to the left side of my studio, I have copies of The Count of Monte Cristo, which is extremely thick, by the way. That thing is a monster. I think it's the longest book ever, one of the longest books ever written. Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. Once again, Three Musketeers is it's like a big meaty sandwich. And then all these other books are between the 250, 300, 350 page range. So, they're reasonable looking sandwiches, but these two over here are like giant ribs or steaks. Honestly, Count of Monte Cristo was recommended by our good friend, Terrence Leahy, who's an indie author in the indie author space. Look him up on T. Leahy on Instagram. Look him up at Suit Up Author on Instagram. He does a wonderful podcast where he interviews indie authors from all over the world. And he wears ridiculously good-looking suits every time he has an episode. Literally, if you look at Terrence Leahy's resume and look at all the photos he's posted over the years, any outfit that he's wearing, Vinny, is a ridiculously good-looking suit. He's very. What's the expression that we use around it? He's very suave, very stylish, styling and profiling, as one might say, in terms of the nature of what there for those of you who grew up watching wrestling. But yeah, look up Suit Up the Podcast. He's a good guy, and he's written some great books too, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in this telecast. But with that being said, I do want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Vinny Maia for being our guest on this week's episode of And I Quote. Vinny, thank you for being here and sharing with us a little bit about your stories, about yourself, some of the experiences you've had as a writer over the years. If someone wants to know more about you or purchase copies of your books, where can they follow you on social media?
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really love being here. You're a great host. And to my book, Under Full Moons, is available on Amazon. You can search there, Maia Under Full Moons. And also I have my webpage, vmaiaauthor.com. And also my Instagram is vmaia_author at Instagram. And I really love to answer any questions anybody has. And it was a great, great, great pleasure being here.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'm going to talk to you here again momentarily. So stick around for me. Grab a cup of coffee and some non-existent treats that we have in our non-existent green room in the backstage area of our studio. But my name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. Follow me, of course, across all forms of social media. Where am I pointing to? Where is it? At And I Quote Channel. It's where you can catch up on past episodes of And I Quote and some of the other incredible things we've done over the years. Now, I want to remind you that movie watch-alongs are going to be on Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We got a great lineup continuing on in 2026, and we're all in. At some point, we're going to sit down and discuss what we're going to be doing for 2027, because there's a lot of movies turning a certain age in 2027, folks. It's going to be crazy. But check out past episodes of And I Quote. They're on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Movie watch-alongs, once again, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to check out my short story, it's called Wolf of the West. It is a part of Western Tales, Volume 1, published by our good friends at Veritas Entertainment. Links to where you can follow Vinny Maia and myself are located in the description of this video. And also help us reach 1,000 followers on our Instagram page, because once we do, we're going to hold a giveaway or giveaways. We're going to give away some special prizes that you, the person who's watching and listening to this program right now, are going to be eligible to win. Also want to give you a friendly neighborhood reminder that the seasons are changing. We got hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have stickers you can add to your water bottles, we have notebooks, coffee mugs, all kinds of wonderful things located in our Redbubble store. That everything in there is currently on sale. So check out the link in my link tree down below this video, or you can find it linked in our social gee whiz media bios. That's where you can check out all that wonderful stuff there. And the next episode of the Writer Showcase is going to drop on Saturday, August the 20th. Where was it? Saturday, August the 29th. at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have a round table of different writers of different genres. We're going to ask them questions about the writing process and what kinds of stories they enjoy. And we want to hear from you as well as we do those live shows, including that one. So once again, thank you for joining us for And I Quote. Do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when the videos go up or they go live. Remember, life is better when supporting indie creators from all over the world. Take a look.
Strelin of Ulia is a cursed man, and cursed men are dangerous. He has traveled the known world seeking a way to lift his curse. So far, he has not found what he is looking for. When Trellin arrives in the city of Anshi, in the nation of Paraba, he meets a cold reception. The desert nation is unforgiving. Its people have proven untrustworthy, and the locals have no love for foreigners. Now, a wealthy stranger offers to lift Trellin's curse for a price, and he must make a choice. Seek a solution elsewhere, or risk imprisonment in the Tower of Ruhak, a place from whence no man has ever escaped. The known world of Atera, The Prisoner of Ruhak Tower. Now available on Amazon in paperback and on Kindle.
A mission for the police. A mysterious passenger. Mitch Mayhew is carrying more than the mail this flight. Unwanted Passengers, a roaring, prop-spinning, pulse-pounding historical thriller for fans of aerial stunts, flapper-era intrigue, and reluctant heroes with debts to pay and demons to outrun. Order your copy of Unwanted Passenger today.
I'm a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.